My family made me sleep in the garage during Christmas to make room for my cousin. You should be grateful we let you stay, my mom sneered. I left that night without a word. Now my inbox is flooded with panic-filled messages. I, 28M, am writing this from a surprisingly decent motel room about 100 miles away from my family's house. It's Christmas morning, and my phone has been vibrating non-stop for the last 3 hours. I finally put it on silent. The drive here was fueled by adrenaline and a sense of cold clarity I haven't felt before. Usually, visiting my parents, Dad 60M, Mom 58F, and sister Amy 30F for the holidays is a mix of obligation, low-level anxiety, and pretending I don't notice the subtle, and not so subtle, ways I'm treated differently. This year, they dropped the subtlety. Some quick backstory. I'm the younger child. Amy is the golden one, married a decent guy, BIL 32M, lives closer to home. I work in construction management. Good money, stable job, but not flashy. I live about 6 hours away. Then there's my cousin, Leo, 26M. He's mom's sister's kid, works in some kind of finance thing, wears expensive clothes, and is perpetually fawned over by my parents whenever he graces them with his presence. I'm reliable. The one they call when the furnace acts up in November, or Dad needs help fixing the deck stairs, or Mom needs her car towed to the shop. Guess who paid for the transmission repair last time? I'm the fixer, the helper, the guy who shows up. Leo is the guest of honor. I drove down yesterday, Christmas Eve. Arrived around 4 p.m. The usual chaos. Amy and BIL already there. Mom fluttering around, stressed about dinner. Dad parked in front of the TV. I brought gifts, helped unload groceries, started doing the expected me. Things like figuring out why the Wi-Fi was spotty in the living room. About an hour after I arrived, Mom pulled me into the kitchen, closing the door halfway. Guess what? Exciting news, she stage whispered, eyes bright. Leo and his new girlfriend Tiffany decided to drive down last minute. They just called. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, I said, okay. Where are they staying? The house isn't huge. Parents' room, Amy and Bael had the main guest room, my old bedroom, and I usually took the smaller second guest room, Amy's old room, barely bigger than a closet. Mom waved a dismissive hand. Well, obviously Amy has your old room, and the other guest room isn't really big enough for 2 people. Plus Tiffany wants her space. So we figured you could take the garage. We put a cot out there. I stared at her. The garage? Mom, it's December. It's freezing out there. Oh, don't be so dramatic, Michael, she said, voice already gaining that familiar edge. We found Dad's old space heater, the one with the slightly frayed cord. It'll be fine. An adventure. An adventure, I repeated flatly. The garage smells like gasoline and Dad's lawn fertilizer. There's no insulation. And Leo gets the room I usually stay in? Well, yes, she said, like it was obvious. Leo is guest. He brought Tiffany. We need to make a good impression. Your family, you understand. I drove 6 hours, I said, keeping my voice level. I spent last weekend helping Dad clean the gutters in the rain. I paid for your flight to see Aunt Carol in September when you said money was tight. And I get the garage so Leo and Tiffany can have space? Her face tightened. The fake excitement vanished, replaced by that hard, resentful look I knew too well. You should be grateful we let you stay at all, honestly, she sneered, voice low and sharp. Always making things difficult, always finding something to complain about. It's just one night in the garage. Stop being selfish. That word, selfish. After years of being the dependable one, the one who rearranges his schedule, lends money, fixes things, sleeping in a cold garage while the golden cousin gets the actual bedroom makes me selfish. Something inside me just clicked, quietly, like turning off a switch. The usual churn of hurt and anger was there, but underneath it was a sudden, calm certainty. This was it. No more arguments, no more trying to make them see. They saw exactly what they wanted to see. Me as an inconvenience, a resource to be used and housed wherever was easiest for them. Okay, Mom, I said softly. She blinked, probably expecting more of a fight. I just nodded. Understood. I walked out of the kitchen, played nice for the next few hours. Leo and Tiffany arrived around 7 p.m. All smiles and expensive coats. They were immediately ushered into the living room, offered drinks, fawned over. Leo barely acknowledged me beyond a quick, "Hey man." Tiffany gave me a look like she was trying to place which handyman I was. Mom directed me to bring their bags up. Not to the garage, of course. but to the small guest room. Amy shot me a sympathetic glance, but quickly looked away when Mom glared at her. Dinner was awkward. I was quiet. Everyone else chatted loudly. After dinner, I excused myself, went out to the garage to check it out. There was the cot, wedged between Dad's workbench and stacks of old tires, a single bare bulb overhead. The ancient space heater sat there, looking like a fire hazard waiting to happen. The air was damp and freezing. I could see my breath. I went back inside, helped clear the table, sat through another hour of forced holiday cheer, watched Leo show off pictures of his ski trip on his phone. Around 11 p.m., people started heading to bed. "Night, Michael. Stay warm out there." Mom called out with fake brightness as she headed upstairs. I waited. Listened until the house was quiet, except for Dad's snoring vibrating through the floorboards. Then, calmly, methodically, I went to my car, grabbed my duffel bag, went back inside, up to the bathroom, gathered my toiletries, back downstairs, put on my coat, walked out the back door, locking it quietly behind me. Didn't look back. Got in my car and drove away. No note, no text, nothing, just silence. The first hour was pure relief. The second hour, a bit of sadness. The third hour, my phone, sitting dark on the passenger seat, lit up. Then again, and again. It's now 9 a.m. Christmas morning. I got this motel room around 6 a.m., slept for a couple of hours. The phone is practically buzzing itself off the bedside table. A quick glance shows, Mom, 7 missed calls, 15 texts. Michael, where are you? We're opening presents. Are you seriously sulking in the garage? Come inside. Michael, answer your phone. This isn't funny. Did you leave without saying anything? Answer me right now, young man. Leo needs help setting up the soundbar he brought. It's complicated. Where are you? Your father is very disappointed in your behavior. Is this about the garage? You are being incredibly childish. You've ruined Christmas. Tiffany asked where you were. This is embarrassing. I swear, Michael, if you don't call me back in 5 minutes, followed by several more all-caps demands. 3 missed calls, 5 texts. Mike, everything okay? Mom's losing it. Did you actually leave? Seriously, what happened? Mom wants you back here now, says you need to apologize to Leo. Apologize? For what? Just call them, please. It's making things super awkward. Dad, 2 missed calls. Son, call your mother. Let's sort this out. Aunt Carol, Mom's sister, Leo's mom, 1 missed calls. Michael, your mother is very upset. Heard you left. Hope everything is all right. Leo mentioned you seemed unhappy last night. Give your mom a call. They don't get it. They genuinely don't understand why sleeping in a freezing garage while the favored cousin takes a warm bed might be the final straw. They see my departure not as a consequence of their disrespect, but as my failure, my selfishness, my problem ruining their Christmas. The panic in those messages isn't about my well-being. It's about the disruption to their plans. It's about the inconvenience. It's about who's gonna fix the next thing that breaks, or help Dad, or listen to Mom complain, or just generally be the family shock absorber and handyman. I feel free, and maybe a little sad, but mostly just calm. I ordered room service breakfast. Going to find a movie marathon on TV. My phone is staying on silent. They made their priorities clear. Now they get to live with the consequences. Update 1. Okay, it's the 28th. Still haven't responded to anyone. The flood of messages slowed down after Christmas Day, but didn't stop. The tone shifted slightly. Less pure panic, more guilt-tripping and confusion. Mom sent a long rambling text about how hurt she is. How could I do this to her? How family is supposed to stick together. Didn't she always do everything for me? News to me. And how Tiffany thought the garage situation was kind of funny, like camping. I bet she did from her warm room. Also mentioned, Dad's back went out and he needed help moving the old freezer out of the basement, a job I was supposed to do over the break. Guess that's not happening. Amy texted asking if I was okay, but then pivoted to how much stress this was putting on Mom and Dad and how I should just be the bigger person and call. Typical. Enabling their behavior by asking me to absorb it. Aunt Carol called again, didn't answer, left a voicemail, syrupy sweet voice. Michael dear, just checking in. Your mother is beside herself. We're all worried. Leo and Tiffany left yesterday. They felt awkward. Maybe you overreacted just a tad? Holidays can be stressful. Give your mom a call, smooth things over. Overreacted, right? Dad left a voicemail. Sounded tired. Michael, look, the garage thing wasn't right. Your mother, well, she gets ideas. But walking out like that, it caused a scene. Call us. We need to talk. Probably the closest to an apology I'll ever get, but still framed as me causing the scene, not their actions. The most telling thing? Not one message asked why I felt disrespected enough to leave. Not one acknowledged the years of being taken for granted. It's all about their feelings, their inconvenience, my overreaction. I spent the last couple of days decompressing, talked to my best friend, Dave. He wasn't surprised. Dude, they've been pulling stuff like this for years. Sleeping in the garage? That's next level. Good for you for finally bouncing. Hearing that validation helped. Yesterday, I got an email alert about a charge attempt on a shared utility account for the family home, one I technically still co-signed on years ago to help them qualify, even though Dad is supposed to pay it. It's usually on auto pay from his account, but the payment failed. Insufficient funds, maybe? Someone, likely Mom, must have tried to manually pay it using the stored info linked to my bank account as the backup. My bank flagged it because it wasn't the primary payment source. Called the utility company immediately. Explained I'm no longer associated with that property's billing. Removed my name and my bank info as cosigner backup. Took about 30 minutes on the phone. Let them know the primary account holder, Dad, is solely responsible. If he can't pay, that's on him. Felt oddly similar to the guy in that story I read. Severing the automatic financial ties that enable their lack of planning. Still no plans to contact them. Blocking Aunt Carol's number felt good. Might block Amy's next if she keeps up the be the bigger person crap. The peace of silence is addictive. 2 months later. It's late February. 2 months of silence from my end. Life has been calm. Work is busy. Went on a weekend trip with Dave. Finally fixed the leaky faucet in my own apartment that I'd been putting off. The attempts to contact me dwindled significantly after the first few weeks. After the utility payment fiasco, heard through my cousin on Dad's side, who was more reasonable, that the power flickered off briefly before Dad scrambled to pay, they seemed to get the message that I wasn't just sulking, I was out. Amy sent one last text about a month ago. Mom cries a lot. Dad stressed about money. Hope you're happy. I deleted it without replying. The manipulation is so transparent now. My cousin, Dad's side, mentioned that Mom and Dad are telling the rest of the family that I had some kind of breakdown, that I'm unstable, and that they're worried sick but giving me space. They completely omit the garage incident or frame it as me misunderstanding a fun, rustic sleeping arrangement. The victim narrative is strong. Leo and Tiffany apparently told Aunt Carol it was super weird how I just vanished. No self-awareness, any of them. The best part? The freedom. Not having to brace myself for the next dismissive comment, the next unreasonable request disguised as a family emergency, the next time I have to swallow my pride to keep the peace. Not having to plan my holidays around their whims or budget for their next financial crisis. There was no big confrontation, no screaming match. Just a quiet click, a locked door, and a silent drive away. Like the guy whose wife texted him for a divorce. She set the terms, lawyers only. He accepted and acted accordingly. My family set the terms with that garage cot. You are not valued here, only useful. I accepted it and acted accordingly by removing myself, the resource they took for granted. Their panic wasn't about me. It was about losing their convenient handyman, their backup plan, their emotional punching bag. They thought I should be grateful for the scraps they offered, even a freezing garage. They never imagined I'd just leave. I don't know if I'll ever have a real relationship with them again. Maybe years down the line, if they ever genuinely understand and apologize, but I'm not holding my breath. For now, the silence is peaceful. Building my own life, on my own terms, feels right. They got the Christmas they created, one without me, and I got my peace back. That's more than enough.